So let's go over the changes I've made in day 2/day 3 of this build. This build has gone through a lot of changes already. We are pure CI now, and all our damage from Kinetic Blast has also been converted to Chaos through our cluster jewels, which we go over. Now, since the last time, a lot of the gear has changed simply for us to go CI. To go CI comfortably, you would want about 8,000, 9,000 energy shield just for it to feel comfortable. There is a change on the skill tree for us to go to that. The new skill tree is going to be linked to the description. The reason we're going pure CI and pure chaos damage now as well is just a lot more tanky, a lot more scalable than going hybrid was, or even with MOM. So how we're getting all of our chaos damage from KB now is going to be through just through overwhelming malice, because we crit a lot. This is up all the time, so all of our damage is converted to chaos, which means we don't have to worry about resistance at all. So we don't need to use stuff like invert the rules. Anything like that is just not needed because there is no resistance to chaos. This way we're able to scale our damage up quite a bit, especially when you're going to T16, T17 maps. This is going to feel a lot better because a lot of those mobs will have more resistances. The maps that you roll will have more resistances on them as well. The other changes that were made to this build is because we're able to go with a double cluster setup, we end up getting 4 more jewels. 4 more jewel slots. These jewel slots will be swapped out once we get our Forbidden Flesh and Forbidden Flame combo set up, which is going to be for Guardian, for Radiant Faith, which will be further down the line. The other things on the skill tree haven't really changed much. You're dropping the whole top side, so your Unhealthy Mind that was up here is also gone. Simply so we can get our clusters in, because there is no other way to fit them. If you wanted to keep these, those have to be dropped to keep them. And as well, with us being able to go CI, we're able to get a 4th utility flask, so no more need of a life flask. We are able to get a higher mana pool, higher ES pool as well, because of the extra jewel slots that we have. So I'm currently sitting at almost 11,000 mana, over 10,000 energy shield. The build is feeling a lot more tanky than it was before. Damage is still there, a little bit lower because we have swapped out of Mind the Council into Mind Spiral. Mind Spiral is there because of how much extra energy shield it actually gives us. It is a pure DPS loss on Mind the Council, but doesn't really make that much of a difference. The extra survivability is just a lot better. The important thing with Mind Spiral is when you're looking for it, the socket of skills reservation of 90% is really important. If you do not have that in the implicit, you will have to use a level 3 Enlighten to fill all your gems in. And then if you're doing that, you have to drop one of your links from your Wall of Force to fit the Enlighten in. And with the swap to CI, we also end up going with a different auras. So now we have Grace into the build. Grace is just going to help us scale our survivability once we get Mage Blood and we get all the other pieces of gear onto the build. So we're going to feel a lot tankier when all of that is in place. The other auras are still the same. We're still going to be using Pure Developments for now until we're able to get the Mage Blood set up for the Storm Shroud, so we'll be ailment immune, so we won't need that, but then we have to cap our res through other means. The other auras are still the same. Clarity's added back in now because of our Watcher's Eye, which is giving us more ES off Clarity. That is the only combination really. I know I have movement speed from Grace as well. Wasn't looking for that, I just happened to get one with it. It's also nice. The only important mod on the Watcher's Eye that we want is the Clarity mod to give us more ES. If I take that off, we go from 10.3k ES down to 9k. It's quite a big jump in terms of our survivability simply from this 2 mod combo. Doesn't take up too much. You could level, I would stop leveling Clarity around level 11. Level 13 is a bit much. I've just been too lazy to put it back down. The other thing is we do have our crafted wand now. This crafted wand needs to be changed because I got it, or I made it when I was still lightning damage based. And as you can see with the attacks with this weapon penetrate elemental res, we want to change that to chaos res. Need to recraft it. Just waiting for the currency to come in really to redo that. That will give us a bit more damage as well, because the elemental pen is completely useless at this point. We are using 2 Kikazarus. Both of these will be swapped out for other rings down the line. With any of the stats that we need, more mana, more int, along those lines is how we're going to be doing that going forward with the rings. The chest piece is very simple to make. Anything close to about 1000 or 1.1k ES, kind of what we want. That's kind of on the endgame version. We can get a bit more, which we will later on. Stuff like a global defense mod, transfer fractured, and fully crafted that way. The way you make this chest is pretty simple. Buy a chest with the 3 prefixes that you want, which is going to be the energy shield as much as you can get. You're going to Eldritch on an Ether mod, so you can get rid of all the 3 suffixes, and then once your 3 suffixes are gone, multi-mod it with these 3 mods, and that's it. That's the chest piece done then. In terms of nothing else has really changed. Gloves, boots are kind of still the same. I still need a new shield. My shield is absolutely awful. A serious foible is still there. Split shot is still the anoint. In terms of the flasks, the setup for the flask mods has changed. So we're now using flash charge on crit because we crit all the time, so the flasks are up all the time. The only thing really that's kind of nice is the stun avoidance, because stun can be a bit of a pain. If you get stun locked, there's not really much you can do if you get stun locked, but with this being up and with the energy shield being added to our stun threshold from this, is more than enough to keep us alive. We'll never get stunned really. If we do, it's usually only for maybe 1 second max, and then we're able to get out of it, which doesn't happen too often because we're able to attack from such range. The links on the KB are going to be slightly different now that we are CI, so we don't need any of the Fizz Convert for lightning. Same goes for the gloves. You don't need crafted convert or implicit convert from Eldritch mods, and the Fist to Lightning is now been replaced it with vicious projectiles because we're doing chaos damage now. This is the best in slots. Even if you're checking PoE for what would be better, this always comes out on top. Need to put quality on it and such, but the other links have not changed. They're still the exact same from what they were before. Those are the only slight difference. Also, for the other thing that we had steel skin automation set up before. Now we're just gone to a cast when damage taken setup. Immortal Call. Don't need the steel skin anymore because it doesn't really give us that much. Immortal Call is just slightly better. So I've kind of swapped over to that setup. We still have Sniper's Mark, my Mark on Hit, Spellslinger, Culling Strike. The thing is as well, with the Culling Strike that's in here now, if you don't have the 90% reservation on your helmet, you will not be able to fit this in. You might be able to with the level 3 in line. I actually haven't checked that, so I'm not sure about that one. But this mod is actually quite cheap, so it's definitely worth to get this over level 3 Enlighten. The other thing that we dropped was the Sigil of Power. Sigil of Power was in our shield or anywhere else that you wanted to put it, but because we're going full chaos damage now, it's not needed, so it's just kind of taking up a slot that wasn't really giving us much at this point. So I put in Culling Strike. That is all the updates that I have for this build at the minute. Like I said, this POB will be linked down in the description. If anybody wants to have a look at it, they can. Any questions, let me know. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about today was the state of farming in this league. It is the ground loot is absolutely abysmal. It is absolutely ridiculous that I think almost close to 2 days played at this point. A couple hours away from 2 days. And the amount of ground loot that just isn't dropping is absolutely ridiculous. It's actually kind of irritated me. I've had a lot of different farms and the loot hasn't been much better in any of the farms that I've done. It almost seems like every single mechanic that I try and that I've seen other people try just is not giving anything back in return. The margins for profit are very small. All the farms that were making profit, their margins have gotten even smaller since everyone else has jumped on them. There is very little that you can actually do that's good profit that hasn't been already done and that not a lot of people are doing. I know there was a patch that just came out that addressed the loot in the charts and the voyages. The charts and the voyages are a lot better than what they were before the patch that just came out. I think they still can be improved in terms of the loot. But then again, if the voyages are improved in terms of their loot, it fixes that issue, but it doesn't fix the issue that's in maps that we're having at the minute. Because, like I said, the ground loot in maps or in the league mechanics and everything just needs to be upped a lot. We're missing a lot because of a Mirage mechanic being gone. We're missing before that when the Mercs used to give us quantity. The league before, that's also gone. Things need to be done for us to be able to get any terms of loot. Because, like I said, I've only dropped 4 divines in about 2 days of playing time. My Atlas is done. I've been in maps since about 6 hours, give or take, into the league, and that's all the loot that's actually been dropped. Atlas was finished in day 2, so it's really, really poor. And one of these divines came from the Genesis tree, so I've technically only dropped 3 divines in 48 hours of gameplay. That's just, I can't fathom that. Like, I'm the biggest defender of GGG when it comes to their game and what they do. If you ask anybody, I'm their biggest fanboy, but this is actually starting to annoy me to the point where I'm struggling to find ways of making money while actually playing the game. I know I can just sit there and craft all day. I have no problem doing that, but I actually want to play the game. I don't want to sit in my hideout and click orbs all day. I don't mind doing a mix. I'm doing a mix is fine, but it's just so demoralizing when you're trying to actually farm and you realize you're getting next to nothing back for it. Other people might have a slightly different experience than what I do, but going off the vast majority of what I've seen online, what I've seen other people talk about, Reddit, everything, nobody's happy with the state of the loot that's in the game at the minute, especially ground loot. A bunch of things need to be buffed in my opinion. Tile sets need to be buffed, tile set loot especially. I think GG will fix it. I think they will improve it. I think it needs to be done sooner rather than later. I'm hoping this week it's going to be updated, at least with some information for us in terms of what their plans are with ground loot. Because they've been kind of pretty quiet about it. From what I haven't seen any real information on what they're planning to do with it. That was kind of my rant on the state of things. There will be more videos coming up about this build, more updates. There will be crafting videos on how to make specific gear going forward. I would like to do the crafting in game and not on pathofexile, so I'm waiting on more loot for myself so I can actually make the videos and tell people how to craft them instead of just showing them. But that's kind of it for today. Yeah, thanks for watching.